their next level of success. I am also the host of the Know Your Worth Career podcast, which is centered around helping women to navigate some of the tricky situations that we often find ourselves in the workplace as it relates to having equal pay, equal opportunities for advancement, just opportunities for growth and expansion and visibility, all of those great things that we all want in our careers. So let's jump right into it. Like and share this video if you know someone, or tag them right on into this video. If you know someone who is getting ready for an interview and they might need a few tips on how to answer the questions that you're asked. And the particular question we're talking about is, tell me about yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself. You know that question if you've been on interviews before. It's one of the first things that they ask you. And so how do you normally respond? Do you respond and you tell them your life history because you really want them to know about you and, you know, your upbringing and your family members and all the, you know, everything that pertains to you? Is that how you answer your question? Or are you a little bit more strategic about the answer that you give? And if you're not strategic about it, once you listen to what I have to say on this video, you will become more strategic about how you approach that particular question and provide answers. Okay? So first of all, why are they even asking you that? They're asking you that because you're a perfect stranger. It makes sense. They don't know you and you don't know them. And you're coming to interview for a position to potentially become part of their team. And so, of course, they want to know a little bit about you and your background to see if, you know, if you're a good fit. And it's your first opportunity of many to come in the interview where you are going to be sharing about yourself. Because that's the whole purpose of the interview. They get to know you and you get to know them. And especially if it's toward the end of the rounds of interviews, it's really important that, you know, you take the opportunity to get some additional feedback for yourself, as well as just providing them with input. So let's get to it. How do you answer the question, Vashana? Stop delaying, right? Okay, I'm ready for you. So what you want to do is, it's really just a way to create introductions. As I said before, that's the primary purpose of it. But the secondary purpose of it is to find out if you're a good fit for their job. That's the bottom line. That's what they want to know. And so when you approach this question and you answer, you want to, first of all, make it very short, not very short. You don't want it to be long, but you want to make it a very succinct answer that you provide, which means you thought about it before you sat in that chair and they asked you that question, and you know pretty much exactly what you're going to say. Not that you have to rehearse it line by line, but you know the points that you want to hit. So the thing that you want to do is you want to tell who you are, of course. You want to talk about the things, your experience. What have you done in the course of your career that relates to the job that you're sitting there interviewing for? Remember, we're selling ourselves from the time we walk in the door to the time we leave. So you want to talk about your experience that relates to their job so that they can see that you are a really good person, a really good fit for this particular position. You want to talk about the things that you're passionate about, the things that you know about this company because you've done your research, right? You've done your research, you know something about the company. It's something about this company that attracted you to it, and you want to say a little bit about that while you're doing your introduction. You can, of course, you're going to talk about the things, your experience is going to be all the relevant things that you've done throughout the span of your career and not just what you're doing currently. So you're going to make sure you talk about that too. You're going to really highlight your strengths, the things that you're really good at, and talk about, you know, what you're looking for in this next opportunity, which is what they're offering, right? That's what you're looking for, and you want to say why. And it's all going to tie back to, you know, how you're such a great fit for this, because this job that they're offering right now, it just so happens to be the perfect fit for you, for what you're looking for why you want it, because you're so interested in And I'm not talking about exaggerating, I'm talking about seriously, you're seriously interested in what it is that they're offering, the work that they do, what they represent, their mission, all of that kind of stuff. You want to talk about that. And then you want to really, you want to do your research and you want to know some things that the company has done. So always go into that interview armed with information about the company, because you're going to tie that into your answer. You're going to talk about maybe they just got some big prestigious award, or they just landed some new client, or whatever it is. Talk about that and why that's exciting and appealing to you as someone who's applying for a potential position in the organization. Everything that comes out of your mouth should be saying why you are the best candidate for this position. Even though they ask you to tell me a little bit about yourself. We're not going to talk about who your mother is and your father is and how old your children are. You can get to that stuff later once you're hired. Right now, we're trying to make sure that you stand out as the best candidate for the position. And these are the ways that you do it. And then, of course, you want to tell a little bit about your interests, your motives. Motives being why you applied for the job. And you're going to have some reason why, because you've actually done your research, you know something about the company, and if you went forward with applying and coming in for an interview, that means that there's some match and you want to share that with them. So that's how you approach answering the question, tell me a little bit about yourself in an interview, okay? So that's all I want to share with you for right now. I will be back later and we'll talk more about some ways that you approach different questions that you encounter in an interview. I'll see you next time. Have a good night. Bye-bye.